We're going to do a quick ride today on the 2022 Kawasaki KLX300Rs. We've got this one here that's been modified with a couple things. If you've watched the previous videos, foot pegs, a lowering link, an 1.5-inch lowering link. We threw the Tusk bar pads on these too. They actually fit pretty nice. Just a decent, cheap option because they don't come with anything. This bike is bone stock. We haven't done anything other than the bar pad. The other thing we've done to this one is we cut the spark arrestor out of the exhaust. Obviously, if you are not riding on private land and you're supposed to have a spark arrestor, that wouldn't be a good idea. But we have cut that out basically to try to avoid those exhaust temps. So after a little bit of riding, we'll ride these side by side and switch back and forth between a couple different riders here, and we'll see what they think. And we'll check those exhaust, muffler temperature too, after about the same amount of riding time. If you want to jump on them and show them. This will give you an idea of just the difference in the lowering link. You know, same rider. The stock one's a little tall for him. This one, once he squashes down the suspension, he can reach pretty easily. And then you'll see the difference on the stock bike. It's actually quite a bit different. The 1.5-inch lowering link seems to really soften up the first part of the stroke on the rear shock. So he's kind of one-footing this one. Just tiptoe one side or the other. The other side he could reach, not flat foot, but pretty close on both sides. So the 1.5-inch doesn't make a big difference. It really softens the first part of the stroke on that shock. We haven't lowered the fork legs or anything yet, so we're going to see how it handles like that, and we'll get some shots of the riding here so you can hear the difference with the exhausts and see how they run and see what they look like. We also haven't changed sag or anything on these yet, so we'll have to do another review when we get all that adjusted for each rider. So we'll get some shots here and you can see what you think. Before we jump to the riding, I wanted to get the exhaust sound. This is the one that has been modified. This has the spark arrestor removed internally. And this one, if you want to start it up, this is the stock bike.
Don't have to hold it. Yeah.
All right, we're going to test these exhaust temperatures here and just see if it made any difference at all removing the spark arrestor. So this is the bone stock exhaust here. Right there in the same spot we're at. Actually about 90, well, we're reading 100 there. 104. Sounds about 104 right now. We'll read the same side on this one. Try to get the same spot. Oops, I'm in Celsius. We are at about 95 to 96. So it's lowered a little. Not a huge gain on that by any means. It's about 134 right on the end cap. And this one's, see, they get really hot. This now is reading as high as 170 on the end cap. Basically same spot. So they do get hot. What do you think of the foot pegs, the aftermarket pegs?
They're weird.
Yeah, they're a little odd, a little close to the shifter.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. The other thing you noticed, you didn't like the clutch needs to be adjusted, right?
Yeah, it's a little like right.
Yeah, the clutches let out really early. There's not a whole lot of play, so we'll have to adjust those. So I don't know. There's probably some more exhaust modifications we're gonna have to do, but it did help a little removing that spark arrestor.
Okay, ready?
All right, we switched riders on these now, so we got the taller rider on the taller bike and the shorter one on the lowering link bike. So we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm going to try to flag these guys down and get their thoughts on the suspension. So what are your thoughts on the stock bike versus the lowered one?
The lowered one's nice because I can get my feet down really easy, and the pigs also you can get a better traction on them because they're wider and you feel like you have a better stance.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the tall one because it feels like you can almost go over anything.
Right. Is the suspension a lot? Does it feel a lot squishier in the back on the lowered one?
I don't think so because I think.
You just kind of take all the sag out of it when you first sit on it?
Yeah.
What did you think on the difference with them?
This one might be a little stiffer in the rear, and I like the stock foot pegs better just because they're not so close.
Oh yeah, they're not so close to the controls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't think there's any running difference between the exhaust mods.
Yeah, they don't seem to run any different. Just one's a little louder than the other, right?
This one sounds smoother, but
Oh yeah, it sounds smoother than the one with the spark arrestor cut out.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so all in all, they're running, the same after the spark arrestor removal. We did lower the temperatures a little bit on the muffler, which was the main goal. But I mean, all in all, I guess the lowering link probably doesn't make that much of a difference unless you absolutely can't reach. And we've got an even shorter rider we're going to throw on these in the future and see what he thinks. So we'll let you know. Apologize for the video in little bits and pieces here today. The main goal is to get that review done on the KLX exhaust and the pegs and stuff. I've got my oldest out here now. He's ripping around on his 150 XCW, and we got the KLX300R still out. Just kind of give you an idea what an average wet spring ride day is for us and kind of what we have here. We don't have much in terms of jumps and stuff, but we have some pretty good terrain. Decent sand hill here. I don't know if the camera does it justice or not. You saw earlier we've got this little mini set of rhythms over here too. And then one decent tabletop. So yeah, nothing too crazy in terms of jumps, but got some pretty decent terrain, especially up in the woods. Get into some little rock gardens and stuff, log crossings, that kind of thing. We are going to work to expand everything too. Build some pretty decent berms, that kind of thing. The goal is to eventually turn this into more of a moto track, maybe like an enduro cross setup, but that'll be some future videos. Been trying to get him to hit this here. So I won't bore you too much more with this, but that's our little proving grounds, just to kind of train them on some different obstacles. Eventually we're going to move these loader tires around and get them set up differently. Looks like it's kind of a mess, but it's half paintball course, half dirt bike proving grounds. Got some pretty decent little hill climbs here and there too. Missed that one.